create a whole suite of services for D2C brands as well. So very much my mind is at D2C all the time, right? And so one of the biggest challenges we also faced when we started off trying to build a brand earlier with the coconut people was basically trust, right? Like that was like the huge challenge, because until somebody got the product, there was no way in which they wanted to they would buy from us, which is why back in the day we had to, cash on delivery was a thing, because until then nobody would trust the product. So or we had to keep on giving samples of any new products, because in order to get customer a feel of it. Now instead of doing these things, not instead, like maybe in addition to doing these things, live commerce just takes it to a different level, where the demonstrability of it, the whole trust creation process is sort of much more real. So I think that is like a key aspect why and with back then internet speeds were also a little slower, but now I think with probably 5G, 6G, whatever coming, that will make a huge impact. Yep.
Right. Right. Well, great to have you both here. So I think we can start with the topic about live commerce and how it impacting, and the trends right now is going in e-commerce world. So we all know that e-commerce industry was at a boom when it was COVID and everything was locked up. We were sitting at at our places. Everyone was either watching content or making content. So whole this live commerce, video commerce started when it was all locked up. So lockdown pushed our limits to just buy online or just watch the content, whether it is shoppable content or just entertaining content. But from then till now, there's a lot of change that we have seen in e-commerce industry, and this ongoing trends of video shopping and live commerce, and all these live streams are going on, like Myntra, Nykaa, this brand, Amazon, they have all adopted this live streaming concept right now, right? They are doing it with the different influencers. They are doing with different brands. They are doing with different kind of set of audience for makeup, for fashion. So if we can, just for the smaller brands, if we can talk about, or maybe the bigger brands, why to opt for live commerce? So right now, if we talk about, all big brands have opted it. They are testing it and trying to do things around this. But why to opt for live commerce nowadays?
I think Anurag, can I take it before you?
Sure.
Thanks. Thank you. So, I think live commerce is a building trend. When we started the women's company 3 years back, that time we did have a chat option. We had a live chat option, which was auto-generated replies, and people will talk to us. For example, for a product like a menstrual cup. So we had the menstrual cup, and, the question always was, will I lose my virginity if I use a menstrual cup or a tampon? Or, how big a menstrual cup size should be. Do I have to measure my cervix? How do I measure it? Things like that kind of came to us. Very personal questions did come to us. And hence, me and Anika, we both would be kind of available for people to answer that. Because you don't want robotic answers to it. You don't want auto replies. You actually want somebody to understand the sensitivity of the question and, give you an answer or help you choose what you're looking for. So I think when we talk about live commerce, it's absolutely needed for a brand like ourselves, or even for brands where there is a usage or where there is an experience that will be created. Because if the customer does not have the credible sense towards your product, it will be very hard for them to invest that money to repeat purchase it. Because once you purchase it, sometimes you purchase a product, it sits with you, you don't use it, and then you never look at it again. But if you purchase a product, you've been guided by somebody how to use that product, the price that was offered to you, actually tend to go back to it. So I think there's a lot of transparency that is built. There is a lot of, we also built our social channel alongside to it. So, there was a little bit of a social proof that kind of helped customers to engage with the brand. There's in a product like a sanitary napkin, which we also sell, usually we see a sense of urgency. There were customers who would say that, I want the pad tomorrow, or else I don't want it. facing a customer in a situation like this always helped them to kind of do a quick shopping and with a good experience followed up by it. So I
Right.
think live commerce is something that a lot of people are doing. Travel, if you look at the travel industry, if you're looking at booking a hotel, there is an extreme usage of live commerce, and it actually converts into a lot of leads getting into final bookings. So absolutely something that we should indulge and invest in.
Right. Definitely. Anurag, your
Yeah.
points on this?
I'll just continue actually a little bit from what Rupam had said. We faced a similar situation as well because we were actually using coconut oil for babies was a big use case for us, which means it was young mothers who were talking to us, and they obviously required much more attention than which an average chatbot can give. So I very much agree with that. Like initially you require that personal attention and trust, etc., to build this. And so initially when we were building our website as well, I remember when Shopify was new and all of that, we were always thinking about how the entire checkout experience needs to be modeled after a supermarket or modeled after a store that you go to, right? So in different places, if you give like certain snippets of information that a personalized shopper would ideally give you, right? So this was a kind of thinking that went in even when we were trying to build a site. But what happens with live commerce is it actually makes it happen much more easily, right?
Right.
So it'll automatically answer that one or two questions that you might have. It'll also give you a real time reply, as opposed to like even if you're, let's say, chatting with me, let's say you leave a comment at 10 in the night, the reply might come the next day morning, whatever, right? So it reduces that delay, and so creates the urgency as well for the customer, and so all in all, that is the added value add that live commerce can bring to us. So
Right, definitely. I think rightly said. Both of you said the same thing as your experience with your brands, right? So with the women's company and the coconut people, as you were growing and you are growing, and the end thing that any brand is need is the the customer, the loyal customer base who come back, who shop with the brand. And definitely I think, as you rightly said, that the human touch is there, the urgency is there. This live commerce create that whole impact to the consumers that are there on your social channel or might on your website, and it create the urgency to shop. And,
Mhm.
that's what the end result, a brand need a loyal customer.
True. A loyal customer who does follow the recurring purchase behavior.
repeat purchases everything in India because our
Absolutely.
order values are so small also.
Yeah, and also, for my product, like we sell pads and menstrual cups and stand and pee sticks. For us, repeat customer is very important. But we're equally confident that if a product reaches a customer, then they will come back because of the customer service that we're able to kind of build on.
Right. So we move to the next question that we have for you. What do you think? How is live commerce taking over the market and helping the brands? So, as we talk about, all the big brands are totally into it. What do you think? How the new age brands, or the bootstraps, small homegrown brands, these live commerce can help or helping them, and how it is taking over India market?
I feel that a customer needs a face to the brand.
Right.
A customer in today's time, I mean, if you look at 50 years back, nobody would care enough who's founded the brand, who's making the product. They don't care. But I think now, especially women, they're more aware, they're more travel, they're more conscious of what they're buying. They want to buy biodegradable product, they want to buy sustainable product, they want to not buy anything which can harm them in any manner,
Right.
which is what we've seen as a growth in women sensibilities in the last a few years. So I think a human touch is something that is only built via a live commerce, right? If there's no human touch, then you're almost buying from a place which is manufacturing the product in bulk. Then also it helps in reaching a new audience, engaging with them, trying to understand what else would they need. So, in fact, we at the women's company, we often use our customers' feedback as as a system to kind of understand what do they need next. We came up with the bamboo razors, and the bamboo razors would last you for 10 years. But we realized that women were seeking something else also along with the bamboo razors, and that was a shaving creme. So
Oh,
we came up with a shaving creme just because we were able to gather and engage with our customers to understand that bamboo razor to hai, but we need a shaving creme because we'll otherwise have to go and shop it from somewhere else. So we
right.
created a combination of the razor and a creme, which actually helped us increase our SKUs. So I think not only for the customers, it's also beneficial for the brands at the end of the day to understand what your customer needs. And you want to become that one-stop shop for anything and everything that you're offering in the industry.
Right. Right. I think perfectly said that. That definitely a brand. If I am a woman, if I am coming to the women's company, definitely I'm seeking anything for my hygiene. I don't want to go anywhere else. If I'm opening
Absolutely. Because you've already trusted Amanpreet the brand, right? You have your trust with us. I would rather give you all solutions rather than you wandering off and trying and testing.
right, definitely. What's your say on this, Anurag?
Yeah, so I'll just take off from what Arupam has said, which is like people also, I mean, so this has been a thing that we've been noticing for a few years now, which is people want to be part of a community, right?
Mhm.
Like, and community led growth has become like a big thing for brands. And I would say, I mean, calling it the women company automatically brings together women, or calling it even like a bliss club, or calling it even coconut people, which means we want everyone to be like the same people like us, right?
Right,
So live commerce basically helps bridge. So earlier, if we wanted to do community events, etc., it used to take a lot of effort trying to bring all of these people together into one place and stuff like that. And now, live commerce helps in building this community first, digital first. So truly, digital native brands can use this as a platform for strengthening their community, because they are also, so by commenting, whenever a live stream is happening, etc., there are people talking to each other as well. It's not just they're brand talking to the people and people talking to the brand. Also people talking amongst people, right? In real time. So that also I think becomes very helpful in like creating human connection even within those this thing.
Mhm.
So they talk about how this product has helped them, that product has helped them, and the overall conversation just is enriched. So I think that is the reason why this can have like this has good potential. You know.
Absolutely.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
definitely, and absolutely. This, the human touch. While the e-commerce was when not there, the COVID was not there. Major people prefer to go to offline store, see the product, or maybe check the product, how it looks on your skin. As a woman, I can say, because if I'm using a lipstick or any lip color or anything on my face, definitely I need to know that how that color gonna look at me.
Sure.
So
Right.
I think that one thing live commerce has sorted out because of that, because anyone is doing this live stream online there on the website or maybe on the social media handles. I can see that okay, ye mere jaise rang hai. I think it's look good at me. So I think this one thing majorly for women is there, that in beauty or maybe or fashion fit kaisa hoga, or maybe like Rupam said, that the one stop shop. If I come there, there's a human touch. Someone is talking about the hygiene and the menstrual cycle and everything, and that what we need. Yes.
Yeah, also in just demonstrating the use cases itself is like a huge thing in real time. So that itself is a very big impact as opposed to a recorded video, because unboxing and everything has been like imagine doing it real time as opposed to watching a video. So that's great. So that helps.
You can get real time reviews from the customer, real time feedback from the customers then and there. You can work on that. Maybe I think that's really helping the brand to build it in the way that the consumer want to see a brand. I think that's really help a brand to work on that way. So I'll quickly check if we have any questions. We have few highs for you guys. Hi, how are you doing? So
Hi.
We can move to the next question. So it's more or less related to the last question only. So what are the benefit, like how does live commerce benefit your brand, how it maybe in sales or something else, but how it benefit your brands while doing this live commerce or live streaming on your website or maybe on your social handles?
I think it makes your cohort looks good. uh, it kind of boosts up your sales, of course. You get, and it's pretty much similar to the last answer, that you get to get a customer insight on what they're really looking for. Of course, there's a brand build that you're able to do. Everything in today's time, if your friend is saying something, Amanpreet, to you, you'll listen to her more than a random person trying to sell you something, right? So it is the right customer experience that kind of passes on, and creates a ripple around it. So that's what life comes, and I think it is a need of the hour. I mean, there is no second choice about doing it or not doing it. Everybody needs that personal touch, and that's what is required to kind of build the brand in today's time with so much of competition sitting around.
Right, right, definitely. So, Anurag,
Yeah.
if you can just put some light
Yeah,
on this.
I mean, I'm not too much to add from it, but yeah, I mean, definitely see how things like, let's say, WhatsApp commerce, or how D2C in general is evolving. Omni-channel, etc., became a thing. Email marketing is now automatic, stuff like that, right? So there will definitely come a point where live commerce will just be the norm rather than the innovation, and I think we will head there with future technologies, probably even faster phones, and stuff like that. And I hope like we'll be able to do more events. I mean, so I know that there have been a few like failures in India before, but I think whether if the Amazon Mintras or of the world, coupled with few probably even Movely, if they can begin this, and so then it will just get adopted slowly. It might be a little slow, but I feel we have no other choice. We'll end up having no other choice in the future. So
Right.
it's yeah.
So, if I add to that, so we all know it started in China and all video commerce, live commerce, and so right now, like as per some report, if I'm not wrong, this live commerce industry in China is some $160 billion, and in coming days in India, it's gonna like in 2 years, 2025, it's gonna reach somewhere around $5 billion in India. So I think it's a great scope and huge this opportunity for brands to just start it right now, because right now it's boosting and it's there, it's already taking the steps towards the future, and it's great initiative for the brands, like who has just started and finding their identity, finding their the customer base they want to reach. And I think this is a very good thing that they can just opt for and go on.
Sure. No, absolutely, Amanpreet, and you're right. I think all the points that we discussed about are absolutely in line with what should be done, which is engage with your customers.
Right.
If you don't know your customer, you don't know where your product is going, who's using it. Is there anything that you need to do in your product to make it even better? So, a small example, we used to do pads. I mean, we used to do pads of a different proposition earlier, and the composition was slightly different in terms of the adhesive that is used in the back taping of the pad. uh, so we got a customer feedback from down south that the adhesive is not strong enough, while in north it was working very well. So even regionally there was a difference in the feedback that we received, and we kind of reached to a consent of what percentage of adhesive should actually be used on a pad which fits both of north as well as south region. So I think
Right.
it is the need of the hour. If you don't listen to your customer, the customer will actually move on to another one,
Right.
because there's so many options available, and all options are good options.
Huh.
It is actually at this point really on how much a brand invests back into a customer. Maybe not by only giving discount, but also listening to them, talking to them, hearing them out, taking feedback positively, and that can only happen if you're talking to them.
Right. Definitely. I think that we in from the starting of this webinar, we are talking about all thing live commerce, and basically the customer need of the hour, that what they want right now, how brand should get benefit out of this live commerce. Because like I said, that at the end a brand is looking for a good loyal customer base that can come to brand again and again, shop for their needs, and talk good about brand to to their relatives or friends or whatever.
Sure.
So but it's we have mentioned everything about consumer, but how to reach that consumer is more in line my next question. So what kind of influencers, because obviously we if we want to do a live commerce, if we want to do some live streaming, we need some kind of a host who is good in talking, or maybe we need influencers. So there are two things that I want to ask you guys. That one is, what kind of influencers should a brand look for to help them get this live stream going and get good customer base. Second is, like, do we need influencers or a good host work? Host as in that they don't have good followers, but he or she is good in speaking.
So, my answer to this, sorry, Anurag, I mean, you can choose to answer first.
No, it's fine. Go for it.
Great. So, influencers is a very overrated term to me, and to many brands, I'm sure, because everybody wants to be an influencer. I mean, a class 7th student wants to be an influencer. And there's another influencer who's actually understood the product, have done some R&D on the product, has experienced the product, knows the science behind building that product, is the real influencer to us. An influencer who has 1 million followers but does not know about the product is not an influencer for me. And for our brand, customers experience the product, has a little bit of an understanding about what they're talking, and yet are able to kind of deliver that message in the right manner to the target audience, is an influencer. So yes, influencers are important, but relevant influencers. We don't want to engage with influencers who would call themselves influencers but are actually just a base of people who do not even understand the message that I'm going to deliver through them to the target audience.
Right.
But yes, influencers are important, but a host on the other hand, who's talking the product, is of course the person who is hosting the product, and hence kind of does everything from the scratch of receiving the product to opening the product to using the product, and then to give a feedback about the credibility of the product.
Right.
So that's more relevant at any time. But today, this is the era of influencers and bloggers,
Yes.
and Instagram posts, and clicking on how you're even breathing. So we're just kind of trying to live the same air, but we definitely want to filter out people who have some relevance in the conversation that they do.
Right. What do you think, Anurag, on this point?
Yes, I'll give a small example. This I remember happened with us about a couple of years ago. Generally our order sizes were about a couple of jars of coconut oil, etc., for organic virgin coconut oil. But there was this one person who always used to order like 10, and it was at the same frequency as the rest of the regular audience customers, right? So we were like, what the hell is wrong with this guy? Or like, what is he doing? Is he like reselling it, or is he like distributing it for free, or what? So then we figure out that he has been using it for his pets as well, and apparently it's it. So that is when we ourselves discovered that it is a great use case for our product.
Yeah.
So I was like, I need that guy to be my influencer. So we need someone with like a very authentic use for this thing, and very genuine.
I mean, in today's time, Amanpreet, there are influencers who one would post about my brand, and the next minute they're posting about a similar brand in the industry.
Yeah.
That this product is best. So 1 minute it's the woman's company, the best product, the best pad, the best this, the best that. The next minute, my competition, the best brand. I don't want to be working with influencers like that, because it just breaks the image of my brand as well.
Definitely. This is the simple, case right now everywhere on Instagram. If you open anything, and I'm not sure if you believe me or not, Sai, because I am using coconut oil from the coconut people from a very long time right now.
Mhm.
Because as you mentioned for your pet, I'm using it for my baby and for my
Oh,
for
so sweet.
for
Yeah.
my first baby as well, which is my dog. So
Right.
I'm using it for both of them and myself, and and I'm totally into sustainable things, and
Mhm.
I'll try to use something related to more organic, but obviously हर बार नहीं हो सकता है, but and that I recommend to my audience as well, my followers as well. I'll try to give this information to my friends and relatives. Okay, हाँ ये use करो, this is organic, this use this because this is organic. But definitely, because if you look at the the what you can say, the grid of any influencers, like Rupam said, that there are many influencers who are talking about sanitary pad in one post, then another sanitary pad in second post, then
Yeah.
yeah. So this is the definitely a thing, and we need, I think, like you said, that we need host who can talk
Hmm.
about the authentication of the product, or maybe we need influencer who know the brand
Yeah.
language or brand fundamentals, understand that what brand need and how they want to work.
Unfortunately, the brands have given the influencers so much power that, 1 minute they talk great about the brand, the second minute they'll say that, they'll say anything on social media, which is quite alarming, because at 1 minute you were all in awe about the brand and the customer service and the free barters, but the second minute you just want to kind of go all against and write something. So I think there needs to be some filter on what and how much should an influencer be talking about the brand, and also for customers or the users or the viewers to also filter whatever is being seen on Instagram especially.
Right.
We need to have our own filter, basically.
Yeah, pretty
Right.
much. There should be like somewhere to bridge that
Yeah.
thing that does this person really represent this product? Is something that people can, I guess, relate to. It is sort of like Ranveer Singh. I remember Ranveer Singh advertising Maruti Ciaz, a car which he'll probably never buy.
Yeah, I mean, it's all right. Yeah.
Like, people will know कि ये use नहीं करेगा, but क्यों advertise करेगा?
I mean, that's only probably for those 2 minutes or two
Right.
hours. I don't know.
So definitely yes, because right now what it trend is going, that Instagram reality and life reality. So it's this reels coming up, that this is what happening on Instagram to show people, to show your followers, and this is what is real life is. So you more focus on the real life rather than the Instagram reality.
I have one more thing to add to this. I was going to say that the brand founders should definitely be the heroes if possible, as much as they
Yeah,
can.
absolutely.
They should be the face of it because people really want that story. Like,
Yes.
मतलब, why did you start this? Why? Like, people are really curious about कैसे तूने business बनाया, right? So,
Yeah.
people would like to hear that.
Yes, definitely. That's the great thing. I think if a founder or a senior member from any company is going live, talking about the brand, talking about the product, give give a huge impact on the audience, and that's a great thing to do.
Yeah, because I will never lie about what I've made, right?
Yes,
Uh,
definitely.
or what is the R&D behind it, or how can it help you, or how is it saving the environment? So these are like basic facts that the founders or the management can talk about. Uh,
Yes.
yeah.
So I think I'll just quickly check the questions. So there are a few highs and few emojis are there. I think no questions for today. And
No one's in
here,
the mood to ask you any question, Amanpreet.
Yeah, they just want to check, guys. I'm upset that no one has invited me for New Year plans, but okay.
oh,
Let the audience.
yeah. I think everyone in the New Year's thing, they're all out, maybe somewhere in the mountains, because here and there there are a lot of people traveling and going here and there. So great. So I think here we come to the end of this webinar, and it was lovely having you both. It was a huge
Thanks, Amanpreet,
interactive
for
webinar
moderating.
that I have. It's my fifth, seventh, or eighth webinar, but I enjoyed this webinar a lot with you guys, and I gained a lot of knowledge that you have shared your experience, the brand you both have built and are building, and it's a great honor to have you with us.
Thanks, Amanpreet. Have a lovely New Year's ahead.
Thank
You
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 so much, Amanpreet, and good to meet you as well,
Thanks,
Rupam.
Anurag.
Happy New Year, guys.
Happy
Happy
New Year.
New Year, and I wish to have another session with you guys, and I'll try to stay connect with you too.
Absolutely. Thank
Yeah.
you. Bye.
Thank you
Silence.
so much. Bye
Bye.
bye.